Okay, so ready to dive in. Today, we're tackling saving energy.
Always a hot topic.
Right. Who doesn't want to save a little cash, help the planet a bit? But we're going deeper than just remembering to turn off the lights this time.
Absolutely, yeah. It's one thing to know the tips, another to really get why they matter, which is what we're all about in these deep dives.
Exactly. Before we even get there, I'm curious, why does it feel like energy efficiency's become such a big deal lately?
Well, I think it's always been on people's minds to some extent. I mean, saving money's always good, right? But there's this kind of double whammy now with energy costs going up and more people being concerned about the environment. It's like it's hitting us in our wallets and our conscience at the same time.
Makes sense. So it's not just about being frugal, it's almost, well, it feels good to make those choices too.
Totally. And that's what makes even small changes so powerful. Like imagine if every single listener actually implemented just one or two things from today. The combined effect is huge.
Love that. Okay, so this Victorian government page, they start off strong with the basics, like switching things off at the power point, not just leaving appliances on standby. Those little things we all know we should do.
But let's be honest, we don't always do them. It's easy to forget or think, it's just one little thing. But those little things add up.
So true. Isn't that saying penny wise, pound foolish? Except here it's more like watt wise keeps the planet happy.
Exactly. And speaking of things we might not always think about, light bulbs. They might not seem like a big deal, but switching to energy efficient ones can seriously slash your lighting costs.
Yeah, our source says up to 80%. 80%, that's a lot. I'll admit I kind of skimmed over that part initially, like, yeah, efficient, whatever. But 80%, okay, now you've got my attention.
Right. It's wild. And it's not just some marketing ploy. LEDs in particular are in a whole different league compared to those old school incandescent bulbs.
Is that why they don't get crazy hot anymore? I remember as a kid almost burning myself on those old bulbs.
Exactly. LEDs waste way less energy as heat, which is also why they last so much longer. Less replacements, less waste. Win-win.
Okay, I'm sold. Less hassle, lower bills, good for the environment.
Yeah.
All right, what's next? Let's talk about something very relevant here in Melbourne. Heating.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. Especially in a climate like ours, going from sweltering summers to chilly winters, heating and cooling can really eat into your energy budget if you're not careful.
For sure. No one wants to be freezing in their own home, but there's got to be a balance between comfort and, not having your energy bill give you a heart attack, right? What are some things people should keep in mind?
Well, a lot of people are shocked to learn that just bumping up your thermostat a few degrees can make a significant difference. Like, even just 1 degree above 20 can add 10% to your heating bill.
Whoa, seriously, just 1 degree.
It's true.
Okay, I'll admit, I'm guilty of cranking the heat sometimes when I'm cold.
It happens. But being mindful of even small adjustments like that can add up to big savings in the long run. And the same goes for cooling in summer. Setting your thermostat a few degrees higher can make a big difference in your energy consumption.
Right, like finding that sweet spot between comfortable and energy efficient.
Precisely.
Speaking of things that use a lot of energy, let's talk appliances. Our trusty Victorian source goes deep on this one fridge optimization, efficient cooking methods. Even how to use your dishwasher right. Who knew there was so much to think about with just appliances?
It's true. And while appliances have definitely become more efficient over the years, how we use them still makes a huge difference in how much energy they gobble up.
Right, like having a fuel-efficient car doesn't mean much if you're driving like a maniac.
Exactly. And sometimes it's the little things that make the biggest difference. Making sure your fridge door seals properly, only running a full dishwasher. Simple changes, big impact.
Love it. Simple but effective. Okay, ready to move beyond these everyday tips and get a little more ambitious with our energy saving. So the Victorian government, they don't just stop at the basics. They get into some really interesting stuff like energy-efficient heating options. There's even this program, the Victorian Energy Upgrades Program, where you can get rebates on efficient appliances. Have you heard of this?
Oh, absolutely. It's really great to see governments making it easier for people to make those upgrades because let's face it, sometimes it's the upfront cost that holds people back. Like switching to a reverse cycle air conditioner, for example, it might seem like a big investment initially, but in the long run, you save money on energy bills. Plus, there's the potential for rebates. It's a smart move financially and environmentally.
Okay, see, now you're talking my language, saving money and helping the planet.
Basically, it's more efficient than a traditional system because instead of directly generating heat, it uses refrigerant to move heat around. So in the winter, it pulls heat from the outside air into your home, and in the summer, it does the opposite, expelling heat from your home. Pretty neat, huh?
It's like having a magic heating and cooling machine, 2 in 1. Gotta love that. Okay, so besides the super cool air conditioner, what other energy-saving gems did you dig up?
Well, one thing they highlight is the importance of ceiling insulation. It might not be the most exciting topic, but trust me, it can make a world of difference.
Insulation.
Yeah, that doesn't sound quite as glamorous as a magic air conditioner, but I'm willing to bet it's a lot cheaper, right? So break it down for us. Why is insulation so crucial?
Think of it like wearing a warm hat on a cold day. Good insulation acts as a barrier, preventing the heat from escaping through your roof in the winter. And in the summer, it helps keep your home cooler. This means your heating and cooling systems don't have to work as hard, leading to some pretty significant energy savings.
So insulation is basically like a cozy blanket for your house. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Less work for the heater, lower energy bills makes sense. Okay, now I got to ask you about something that seems to be everywhere I look these days, solar. Is it really all it's cracked up to be? Is it worth looking into? It's definitely a hot topic for a reason. Solar energy is a huge step towards a more sustainable future. When you generate your own electricity using the power of the sun, you're relying less on fossil fuels. Plus, over time, those solar panels can really pay off in terms of energy bill savings. Not to mention, it feels pretty good knowing you're doing your bit for the planet.
Right. It's that feel-good factor for sure. Okay, so I'm sensing a theme here with these energy-saving tips. It's really amazing how much technology has advanced, making things like solar more accessible and affordable for everyday people like me.
Absolutely. And those advancements benefit everyone in the end. It's about creating a cleaner, more sustainable future for all of us now and in the future.
So well said. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about easy, everyday changes and some bigger investments like insulation and solar. It's honestly empowering to realize how many options there are for saving energy, both big and small.
It really is. And that's what I love about this topic.
Yeah.
Every step we take towards a more energy-efficient lifestyle, no matter how small, makes a difference. It all adds up to a bigger impact in the end.
It's really cool to see how much we can do as individuals to be more energy conscious, but it does make you wonder about those bigger systemic changes. Like, we can swap out all the light bulbs we want, but what about the energy grid itself? How do we make sure that's sustainable?
Such a crucial point. It's
Yeah.
like we've each got our own little energy-saving toolkit, which is great, but we need a bigger shift towards renewable energy sources at a much larger scale to really make a dent.
Exactly. So how do we, as, informed citizens, actually push for that? Is it just about voting for the right policies?
Voting's definitely huge, yeah.
Mhm.
Supporting policies that encourage renewable energy and energy efficiency sends a strong message. But it's also about those everyday conversations we have. Like talking to friends, family, even coworkers about this stuff can really raise awareness. And don't underestimate the power of supporting businesses that are making sustainable choices. Every little thing helps shift the mindset.
It's like that saying, be the change you want to see in the world, but with energy bills.
Exactly. It's
Mhm.
recognizing that we're all in this together, creating a more sustainable energy future. It's a team effort, right?
Yes.
Every action, every conversation, it all contributes to that bigger goal.
Love that. Well, we've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive, from simple tips to bigger picture stuff. I'm feeling inspired.
That's what we like to hear. It's not about feeling overwhelmed, but empowered knowing that we can each actually do something.
Totally. So for our listeners who are fired up, ready to make some changes, where's a good place to start? Besides remembering to turn off the lights, of course.
Honestly. Start with what excites you most. If it's those immediate savings you're after, tackle those everyday habits we talked about. Feeling ambitious. Look into those government rebates for bigger upgrades. Passionate about the bigger picture. Find ways to advocate for those systemic changes. It all makes a difference.
So well said. Every watt saved is a win for our wallets and the planet. This has been a really insightful deep dive. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, stay curious, and let's keep those energy bills low and our sustainable spirits high.